Stampers, and thanks for joining me today. Today we are going to be creating this stinking cute dragon card. Puff the Magic Dragon definitely ranks on the stinking cute-o-meter. Love it! You dying to see it? Let's get started. Okay, we're going to start by creating his scaly skin. I'll be using some Always Artichoke cardstock, and we'll be using the Big Shot and a Square Lattice Impressions folder. Simply slide your cardstock right inside that folder. Sandwich that folder in between two cutting pads and place it on tab 1 of the multi-purpose cutting platform and crank it through your Big Shot machine. It is magic, isn't it? Very cool. I have a quarter sheet here and then maybe like an eighth of a sheet. Just wanted to be able to get all of his pieces. I know you're saying, okay, Tammy, exactly what pieces do we need here? Let me show you. His head circle shape, you can either use circle scissors. I'm going to use the large circle from the Circles No. 2 Sizzix die that Stampin' Up! Sells. And I'm just going to place one of these texture pieces right on top of that. Sandwich that between two cutting pads, slide it right back on the Big Shot cutting machine, and crank it through. And there's his head. And for the rest, I'll be using punches. And the punches you just use upside down and just pop them out. So here's a view of all the punches that I'll be using. And I'll note that these black punches are the old punch style. This owl punch is the new punch style. So they'll all come in the new punch style. We have wide oval, large, small, star, scallop circle punch, and boho blossoms. These are all sold by Stampin' Up! And they're all available online on my website. If you're from the US, it makes it very easy. Okay, now the owl punch I'm not really going to be using to punch an owl. I'm actually using it for the circles in it. I'm going to be punching the large circles and the medium circles, both in black, and I just slid two pieces in to where I needed them. This is about a 2" by 4" strip of the textured paper. Okay, here are all the pieces that you're going to need to create this dragon. You can also get a printout on my website and all of the punches that we use to create each one of them. All right, let's build a dragon. By the way, these stars use Stampin' Up's Peach Parfait, which is one of the in colors this year. I love the color. To create his eye shape, we use the large oval, and I'm going to take about halfway in and a little bit at an angle and punch that out. And it gives us this really great shape. And we're going to do that on both sides. Then using some of Stampin' Up's snail adhesive, we're going to attach those over the white ovals. And then to create his neck, it has a tiny little bit of an arch to it. I'm going to take this piece, and that part I just freehanded just a little bit of an arch. Doesn't have to be perfect. Next I'm going to take some Always Artichoke ink, and we're going to sponge around the edge of all of the artichoke pieces. Just dip that sponge right in the ink and sponge. This is going to add some depth. We're also going to sponge around the edge of the white scallop and the boho blossom flowers. And next we'll start assembling. We'll use snail adhesive to put his eyes on. I kind of line them up and put them down a hair from the top of that circle. The wide oval goes over the bottom of the eyes, and then that layers on top of one of the smaller ovals for his mouth. He's already stinking cute. Look at him! I'm going to trim either end off of the small white oval. I'll be using some mini glue dots. Just stick that right to the mini glue dot and then right in. And we'll stick that right in there on. Stick all 4 of those circles from the owl punch right to the mini glue dots. The smaller ones are going to be his little flare nostrils. The larger ones will just tuck it slightly underneath his little nose area for his eyes. Don't you just love it? Little white gel pen brings him to life. Now we're going to tack him down onto the white, but before we do that, I thought it was easier to work with his little smoke cloud here and work our way down rather than attaching the head first. I'm using Stampin' Up's Fabulous Phrases and the word celebrate from there. Just going to stamp that in black towards the bottom of the scallop circle. Attach that right on the white, and then I just kind of laid him out here. So we'll attach his neck first. Instead of snail adhesive, I am using some of Stampin' Up! Stampin' Dimensionals for his little head here. And we'll just put that on there, maybe even at a little bit of an angle. We'll give him a little bit of character there. He's so cute. I'm going to flip this over and trim off the excess neck. Oh, don't we just wish we could do this in real life? Just trim off your excess neck. Nice and smooth. Boho blossoms here go down with some more mini glue dots. Now for the stars, I'm using these for his little scales on his back and his head. Now the smaller ones, I'm just cutting the tips off, and they just stick on with mini glue dots. Now the reason why I made 2 stars, because you could probably get away with just 1, was because I wanted to make the triangle slightly larger for the 2 on his head, and it just worked better if you used 2 instead of 1. And those 2 pieces just stick right under his little head. So then he layers on some Peach Parfait, which is layered on a black base. And voila, he is done! Puff the Magic Dragon. I'm going to have you singing that song now for the rest of the day. You're going to have to create this card just to stop singing that song. Thanks so much for joining me and Puff today. Be sure to visit my blog for tons more Stampin' ideas, specials, sales, and videos.